Well, we're here to present an award to Senator Lugar. The U.S. Baltic Foundation is pleased to present our American Statesmanship Award to our great friend, Senator Richard Lugar. Through his leadership on the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, Senator Lugar has been a consistent supporter of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania as they have emerged from captive nations to become active members of the family of Western democracies. Senator Lugar's personal visits and commitment to the region have helped to deepen ties between the U.S. and the Baltics. From his support of the SEED Act in 1989 to his call for the immediate withdrawal of Soviet troops from the Baltics in 1991, to being an early and strong advocate of NATO enlargement into Eastern Europe, Senator Lugar's achievements have led to the democratization, freedom, and security for the Baltic region. We are grateful to Senator Lugar for co-sponsoring the resolution to designate June 14th as Baltic Freedom Day. Senator Lugar has made the Baltic region safer and more secure through the Non-Lugar program, which helped dismantle and destroy the Soviet Union's vast arsenal of nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons in Eastern Europe. Senator Lugar has supported energy independence globally and understands the strategic importance of energy security. As a U.S. representative at the Nabucco Summit in 2009, Senator Lugar stated that cooperation on energy can be a powerful force for peace. The U.S. Baltic Foundation appreciates and applauds Senator Lugar's commitment to promoting academic exchange programs and people-to-people connections with the U.S. and the Baltics. His hands-on approach, personal commitment, and regional vision of peace and cooperation for Central Europe exemplifies U.S. diplomacy at its best. Thank you, Senator Lugar, for your efforts and your friendship.
Oh, well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
For that very beautiful tribute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mary?
Oh, thank you. Well, we will display this very proudly in our office. Let me say, in thanks to the Baltic Foundation, to each one of you who have joined us today, that this brings back memories of a time in the White House when the first President Bush asked me to call President Landsbergis in Lithuania. And I said, why would he take my call? And he said, well, he will, because there are difficult circumstances there. And indeed, there were. There were still Russian troops. There were rumors of perhaps change. So I had the opportunity to visit with President Landsbergis in the latter part of April 1991. It was a daytime visit. The President was delighted to see me, but warned us that we should leave the country promptly after our visit because there were still Russian troops at the top of the hill, and he reminded me of difficulties which had occurred really around the palace where there were memorials to those who had been killed recently. We took his advice and went to Latvia and tried to at least bring about enthusiasm for what we were certain were going to be times that would change for democracy, and likewise for a good many Americans who would want to come back to Lithuania, to Latvia, Estonia, to be helpful in the progress that was going to occur, which happened. I mention all of this because a lot has happened since then. But my visits to each of the three countries were occasioned frequently by thoughts of NATO, the thought of joining the security situation in Europe with the United States in the transatlantic partnership. And that has grown stronger as time has gone on. And so this celebration comes many years after that first visit with President Landsbergis, but with the same spirit of really triumph for the people of the Baltics against great odds, and likewise an idea of how much progress still needs to be made with all of us working together. So thank you so much for coming this morning. I deeply appreciate this award.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, really, and thank you very much for doing this. And please continue with the energy security. That's very important.
Well, we will. It is important for the Baltics and for the United States, both. And we keep pointing that out to our countrymen. We must find alternative sources of energy. But at the same time, as I spoke in Riga at the summit of NATO now a little over 2 years ago. Article 5 of the NATO Charter really is vague, perhaps, with regard to energy security. And I raised the hypothetical, what if, in fact, troops and tanks and aircraft did not come across the border, rather somebody turned off the tap, and it was in the middle of winter, and people froze and industry came to a halt. The devastation would be equal, if not worse, than immediate military attacks. And so you still must think through this. And this is a challenge for NATO, for the EU, for all of us, maybe in our bilateral relations.
Well, with your help, we will meet that challenge.
Yes, indeed, with your help. Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank
this
you.
morning.
Thank you very much.
Deeply appreciate the award and this opportunity to visit with you.
Thank you.